Before every great shift, there is a whisper. And if you're hearing this now, it means the whisper has already found you. Not tomorrow, not someday, but 3 days before everything changes forever. This message did not come to you by chance. It has reached you because destiny itself is moving toward you. 3 days from now, the unseen will break into the seen, and nothing in your life will ever remain the same, because every destiny begins in silence before the storm ever breaks. And right now, that silence has spoken to you. Every great storm is first felt as a breeze. Every turning point begins long before the world notices. Somewhere, unseen, destiny is already moving toward you. And 3 days before the shift, the first sign always appears. There are no accidents. The fact that you are here right now, listening to these words, was written long before you even pressed play. Some call it coincidence, but deep down, you know better. Destiny doesn't knock politely, it whispers. And when you ignore the whisper, it returns as a storm. 3 days before a shift, the air always feels heavier. You may not see it with your eyes, but your spirit feels it. Something inside begins to stir. The world around you feels strangely louder, yet somehow empty. You notice signs, numbers repeating, conversations that seem to speak directly to your soul, dreams that linger longer than they should. These are not random moments, they are signals, markers of alignment, proof that the unseen is moving closer. Think of a seed buried in darkness. No one notices its struggle, its silent breaking, the quiet fight to push upward. Yet before it pierces the soil, there is always a moment of silence, a pause before the breakthrough. That pause is where you are right now. Hidden, waiting, underestimated by the world, yet on the edge of something extraordinary. You were not meant to stumble here by chance. This message has traveled across countless miles, through endless noise, only to reach you exactly 3 days before your own shift begins. Ask yourself, why now? Why not yesterday? Why not next week? Because timing is divine, and the divine does not waste its breath. Every great change in history began this way, unnoticed at first. Before the flood, the sky was quiet. Before revolutions, there was silence in the streets. In the streets. Before your breakthrough, there is stillness, and in that stillness, the whisper comes, prepare. Do not mistake the silence for absence. Do not mistake the delay for denial. Right now, forces greater than you can see are aligning. People you have not met, opportunities you cannot imagine, paths you have not walked, all are already shifting to meet you. The unseen has moved, and soon the seen will follow. But here's the truth. Destiny does not come to the distracted. It does not come to those who sleep through their moment. It comes to the ones who are awake enough to recognize it when it knocks. This is your knock. This is your whisper. This is your sign. Pause for a moment. Breathe. Feel that subtle stirring in your chest. The mixture of fear and excitement. That is your spirit recognizing what your mind cannot yet explain. Type already if you can feel it. Because acknowledgement is the first act of alignment. And as you prepare your heart for what is to come, know this. Storms are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to reveal. They are meant to reveal you. A storm does not come to bury the seed, but to test if it is strong enough to break through the soil. And 3 days from now, your test will become your testimony. For now, hold this truth close. Every whisper is a promise. And the one you are hearing now is not just for comfort. It is a calling. It is a calling. Something has already been set in motion. And as the winds rise, you will soon understand why you were chosen to hear this before anyone else. Because the prophecy before the storm is not a warning, it is an invitation. An invitation into the extraordinary that is already rushing toward fun. For when the hour strikes, your story will unfold with the same divine precision that raised giants before you. Because the unseen clock of destiny has never been late, and it will not be late for you. Most people walk through life with noise all around them, yet they never truly listen. The world is loud, but their spirits remain deaf. They hear the chatter of critics, the hum of routine, the endless distraction of survival, but they miss the most important sound of all, the whisper of their calling. A calling never begins with trumpets. It does not shout. It does not shout. It does not demand. It arrives like a quiet knock, barely noticeable, almost easy to dismiss. Opportunities, too, are born this way. They never arrive in their final form. They come disguised as small ideas, impossible dreams, or even failures that look too heavy to carry. And those who are not awake miss them. Elon Musk heard a calling most people mocked. The world called him reckless when he spoke of electric cars. They laughed when he said rockets could land themselves. They doubted when he warned about the rise of artificial intelligence. To the deaf, these were delusions. But to the few who listen, these were signals, echoes of a deeper destiny that only reveals itself to those brave enough to trust it. You see, ridicule is often the language destiny uses to separate the called from the crowd. If everyone applauds your vision in its early form, it is likely not a vision at all. It is just a mirror of what already exists. But if they laugh, if they doubt, if they call you insane, you may have just touched something eternal. Because the extraordinary is never obvious in its beginning. Think about your own life. How many times have you felt an idea stir within you, only to silence it because it seemed too small, too risky, too unrealistic? How many times have you sensed a shift, but let fear drown it out? The truth is, your calling rarely comes wrapped in certainty. It arrives wrapped in mystery, and mystery is uncomfortable to those who crave guarantees. But listen closely. Your calling does not need to make sense to anyone else. It only needs to make sense to the one who placed it inside you. The question is not whether others can hear it. The question is not whether others can hear it. The question is, will you? Opportunities do not knock forever. They whisper, they wait, and then they move on to those who are ready. This is why some live their entire lives, wondering why nothing ever changed, while others awaken just in time to seize the extraordinary. There is a moment, always a moment, when the calling comes alive. Musk's visions were not random sparks, they were invitations. And though most ignored them, he did not. That is the difference. The few who respond to the whisper write the stories the world later calls miracles. And perhaps right now, your own whisper is rising again. That idea you buried, that dream you left for a someday, that strange stirring in your heart that makes no sense but refuses to leave. This is not noise. This is your calling. And if you silence it, you risk silencing the very reason you are here. So pause, ask yourself, what has been knocking quietly at the edges of your soul? What keeps returning to your mind, no matter how much you try to forget it? That is not random. That is not coincidence. That is destiny calling your name. Most will not hear it. Many will ignore it. But the ones who do change the world. Type I here, I. If you feel that whisper in your spirit right now. Because acknowledgement is how the unseen becomes seen. And remember this, the calling is never easy, but it is always worth it, for what begins as a whisper will, in time, become the roar of your purpose fulfilled. Every destiny has a rhythm. It does not unfold in chaos, nor by chance. It moves in patterns, cycles, seasons, and one of the most powerful patterns written into the fabric of transformation is the cycle of 3 days. 3 days. A short span of time to human eyes, yet an eternal pattern in the language of destiny. Again and again, history, scripture, and even your own story echo this rhythm. The awakening, the testing, the breakthrough. Day 1. The awakening. This is when the whisper arrives. It may come as an idea, a vision, a sudden stirring of your spirit that tells you, there is more than this. You may not understand it fully, but something inside you opens. A seed is planted. You feel restless in the life that once felt normal. You begin to see beyond the surface. This is the moment Elon Musk first dared to dream beyond the world's limits. When others saw cars as they had always been, he saw what they could become. When others saw space as unreachable, he saw it as a bridge to the future. Day one is vision. It is the spark that separates you from the ordinary. But vision alone is never enough, which is why destiny always leads you into the second day. Day two, the resistance. This is the hardest day, the day that breaks most people. Here, your vision meets opposition. Doubt rises, fear whispers louder, and the world begins to push back. You encounter failures, ridicule, setbacks that seem unbearable. It feels like everything is working against you. This is the season Musk nearly lost Tesla. The world laughed. Investors pulled away. The pressure mounted until collapse seemed certain. And maybe you've been there too, dreaming of more, yet crushed by bills, responsibilities, or voices that say you're not enough. Day two is not a mistake. It is a test. Because resistance reveals the strength of your calling. A seed cannot grow without the weight of soil pressing down. A diamond cannot form without pressure. Your destiny cannot emerge without opposition shaping you into someone strong enough to carry it. If you find yourself in day two, do not despair. It is the darkest night, but it is not the end. It is the middle, the place between vision and fulfillment. Fun. And those who endure day two will awaken to day three. The breakthrough. This is when everything shifts. The testing gives way to transformation. The storm that once threatened to drown you becomes the very wave that carries you forward. What was once hidden suddenly emerges into the light. For Musk, day three came when Tesla survived its collapse, when the rockets finally landed, when the world that mocked him now called him a visionary. But more importantly, day three is not about recognition. It is about fulfillment. It is the moment when what you carried inside finally breaks through into the world. And here is the truth. You too are on this cycle. Maybe right now you are in day one, the whisper, the awakening, the spark of vision. Or perhaps you are deep in day two, facing resistance, doubts, losses, nights that feel endless. If that is you, hold on, because day three always comes. It may not come in the way you expect, but it always comes right on time. The 3 days are not about the calendar. They are about the process of becoming. They are the rhythm of transformation itself. And if you are hearing this message now, it is because your 3 days are already unfolding. So ask yourself, where am I in the cycle? Am I awakening? Am I being tested? Or am I on the edge of breakthrough? Type my day 3 is coming if you can feel it rising in your spirit. Because declaring it is not just a statement, it is alignment. Remember, the whisper was not random. The resistance is not permanent. And the breakthrough is not optional. It is inevitable for those who endure. 3 days. 3 steps: awakening, resistance, breakthrough. This is the prophecy written into the heartbeat of your destiny. And soon, very soon, you will see why you were meant to hear these words exactly when you did. Because the cycle has already begun, and your day 3 is closer than you think. Closer than you think. Every dawn begins in darkness. Before the first ray of sun splits the horizon, the night is at its heaviest. And so it is with destiny. Before your breakthrough comes the shadows, the weight, the silence, the ache that convinces many to quit before they ever see the light. This is not failure. This is preparation. But to the human heart, the shadows feel unbearable. They feel like loss, like betrayal, like a door slammed shut. You ask yourself, if I was meant for more, why does everything seem against me? If my time is coming, Why does it feel like I am being buried? But hear this, you are not being buried. You are not being buried. You are being planted. And every seed must first sit in darkness before it can rise into the light. Elon Musk knows the shadows well. His rockets did not soar on the first try. They exploded in flames before the eyes of the world. His companies were not always praised. They were mocked, pushed to the edge of bankruptcy, written off as foolish fantasies. There were nights he admitted he could not see a way forward. Yet those shadows were not the end of his story. They were the soil of his breakthrough. What looked like collapse was actually construction. What looked like endings were the foundations of beginnings. Without those shadows, there could be no light. And so it is with you. The discomfort you feel right now, the restlessness, the closed doors, the exhaustion that makes you question everything, these are not signs of abandonment. They are signs of transformation. The shadows always deepen before the dawn. Think of a butterfly in its cocoon. The shell feels tight, unbearable, suffocating. To the outside eye, it looks like stillness, even death. But inside, wings are forming. And if you cut the cocoon too soon, the butterfly will never fly. The struggle is necessary for the strength it needs to soar. So do not despise your shadows. Do not curse the season you are in, for the very resistance you are facing is shaping you into the person who can carry the weight of the blessing to come. If it arrived too soon, you would not be ready. But after the shadows, you will be unshakable. Musk's light came after ridicule, after collapse, after nights when the world believed he was finished. Your light will come the same way, after the part of your story that looks impossible. Because the greater the shadow, the brighter the revelation that follows. Pause here and let this truth sink in. The discomfort you feel now is not punishment. It is prophecy. It is the prelude to your breakthrough. And though it feels dark, though it feels heavy, you are closer to the light than you realize. Type, "I will rise," if this resonates in your spirit. For speaking it aloud shifts your perspective from despair to destiny. Remember this, shadows are not your enemy. They are your evidence. They prove that light is coming, because shadows cannot exist without light on the other side. So take heart. Do not quit in the night. The very weight pressing down on you is the sign that something is about to break open. And when it does, you will look back and understand every tear, every delay, every closed door was not against you. It was preparing you for the moment the light finally arrives. Because the prophecy is true. Before the rise comes the fall. Before the dawn comes the night. Before the light comes the shadows. And you, right now, are standing on the edge of sunrise. The shadows may test you, but they do not leave you empty-handed. In fact, within the shadows are treasures hidden in plain sight. Most people miss them because they are too busy complaining about the darkness. But those who have eyes to see discover that destiny always leaves behind keys, tools that unlock the doors to the next season. Fujan. And these keys are not hidden in mystery. They are simple but powerful, ordinary to the eye, but divine to the one who knows how to use them. Elon Musk's story reveals them clearly, and your own journey will require them just the same. The first key is unyielding vision. Vision is not sight. Sight shows you what is. Vision shows you what will be. Musk looked at a gas-powered world and saw electric highways. He looked at the unreachable sky and saw reusable rockets. He looked at artificial intelligence and saw both its danger and its destiny. People called him crazy. They always do. But vision does not ask for permission. It declares what is to come. If you do not hold vision, the storm will bury you. But if you guard it, feed it, and believe in it, even when no one else does, vision becomes the fire that guides you through the dark. Hold tight to the picture written on your heart, because that picture is not your imagination, it is your prophecy. The second key is radical patience. Patience is not passive waiting. It is active endurance. It is choosing to trust the unseen clock, even when every part of you wants to rush ahead. Musk endured years of doubt, financial collapse, and failed launches. He could have walked away, but he didn't. Because he understood this: the greatest destinies ripen slowly. Do not despise the waiting. Patience sharpens you. Patience strengthens your spirit. Patience proves you are ready to carry what is coming. The divine will never release a blessing before its time, and if you wait well, you will find the timing is always perfect. The third key is relentless execution. Vision without action is just a dream. Patience without movement is just Musk did not just imagine rockets. He built them, broke them, rebuilt them, again and again. He did not just talk about cars. He engineered them, tested them, fought for them. Dreams demand sweat. Breakthrough requires sacrifice. This key is for you. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for approval. Begin, fail, learn, begin again. Each step forward, even the smallest, is a hammer against the wall standing between you and your future. Relentless execution turns prophecy into reality. The fourth key is detachment from approval and it. If Musk had waited for the world's applause, he would have quit before his first launch. Approval is a trap. If you live by their praise, you will die by their criticism. Your calling is not a democracy, it is a decree, and not everyone will understand it. They are not meant to. You are. You must learn to move forward whether they clap or not, whether they mock or not, whether they see it or not. Because destiny is not validated by men, it is confirmed by time. And when the unseen clock strikes, those who laughed will be forced to witness what they once denied. Unyielding vision. Radical patience, relentless execution, detachment from approval. These are the keys hidden in plain sight. Musk held them. The greats before him held them. And now they are being placed into your hands. But remember, keys only matter if you use them. You can hold them and still remain locked out. Or you can apply them and watch the doors of destiny swing open. So, which will you choose? Type "I hold the key, sir," if you are ready to take them as your own. Declare it so your spirit knows this moment is not just inspiration. It is activation. Because these are not just strategies. They are survival. They are the tools you will need as you step into the storm and walk into your breakthrough. The shadows may test you, but the light is near. And with these keys, you will not just survive the shift, you will rise because of it. 3 days from now, your eyes will see what your spirit already knows. You have felt it stirring, the unease, the restlessness, the whispers in your chest that you could not explain. And now, the veil begins to lift. Destiny does not sneak in quietly forever. It arrives suddenly, like light spilling into a dark room, revealing what was hidden in plain sight all along. Imagine this moment. You wake one morning, and the weight that once pressed on you is gone. The confusion that clouded your path clears like fog burning away at sunrise. Suddenly, the conversations you had, the losses you endured, the detours you cursed, they all make sense. Every shadow was shaping you. Every silence was preparing you. Every delay was aligning you. This is awakening. It is not the arrival of something new. It is the unveiling of what was always there. The seed inside you that felt buried is now breaking through the soil. The vision you carried in secret now steps into the light. And you realize you were never waiting on destiny. Destiny was waiting on you. Do not be surprised if the world still doubts. Do not be discouraged if some still mock. For awakening is not about their recognition. It is about your realization. The moment you see clearly, the moment you know deep within, I was chosen for this. I was prepared for this. I am ready for this. 3 days from now, the shift will not just be around you, it will be within you. The fear that chained you will lose its grip. The uncertainty that blinded you will fall away, and your spirit will stand taller because it finally remembers who you are and why you are here. So take heart. The shadows were never meant to destroy you. They were the final proof that light was coming. Now, that light is almost here. Type "Oh, Tim ready" if your spirit can feel it, because readiness is not just about timing. It is about alignment. Your awakening is not far. In fact, it has already begun. And now, we arrive at the moment the prophecy has been pointing toward. You have felt it in your spirit, whispered through every chapter of your life. Something is coming. Not in years, not in months, but within days. The prophecy is simple, yet profound. 3 days before your life shifts, the signs appear. 3 days before the breakthrough, destiny begins to knock. 3 days before the future unfolds, your soul already knows. This is not imagination. This is alignment. Elon Musk did not stumble into Tesla, SpaceX, or the frontier of AI by chance. Each moment of ridicule, every failure, every near collapse, those were the signs 3 days before destiny revealed itself. What looked like endings was simply the last shadows before dawn. And so it is with you. Right now, you are standing on the edge of a turning point. The pressure, the obstacles, the inner stirring you feel, they are not random. They are the echo of what is already written. You are being called to rise, to step into a role larger than the one you have been living. The next 3 days are critical. They are not ordinary. They are the space between what you were and what you are becoming. Pay attention, because the signs are already around you. In conversations, in quiet moments, in the resistance you feel, destiny is speaking. But here is the truth. A prophecy only fulfills itself when the one who hears it believes. Musk believed when no one else did. He walked through fire, through rejection, through impossible odds, and because he did, the world changed. Now, the voice turns to you. Will you recognize your moment? Will you see the signs not as random events, but as confirmations that you are closer than you think? Will you step forward with faith, even if the world still doubts? Because in 3 days' time, the unseen clock strikes, and those who are awake, those who are ready, will see what others cannot. Psalm. So listen closely. This is not just a story about Elon Musk. It is a story about you, a prophecy fulfilled in your life if you dare to believe it. 3 days from now, destiny will no longer be a distant dream. It will be your reality. This message has found you, not by accident, but by design. You could have been anywhere, watching anything, yet here you are. That is not coincidence. That is confirmation. The very fact that these words reached your ears is proof that the unseen hand of destiny is guiding you. The prophecy has been spoken. 3 days before the shift, the signs appear. And you are now one of the awakened. You can no longer say you did not hear the call. You can no longer pretend you are blind to what is stirring inside you. This is your moment to prepare, to act, to align. Do not wait for perfect timing. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for the world to agree. Your life has already begun to turn. And every choice you make now is a seeds that will bloom in the days to come. So, stand ready. Because when the clock strikes, you will not have time to prepare, you will only have time to step forward. The shadows you faced were the final test. The silence you endured was the training ground. Now, the light is near, and your spirit is being summoned to rise. So, rise. Remember this, destiny does not choose everyone, but it has chosen you. That is why these words reached you today. That is why your heart is beating faster right now. Because deep inside, you already know. It is your turn. This is not the end of your journey. It is only the beginning. 3 days from now, your life will not look the same. And when that day comes, you will remember this moment, these words, and this calling. So if your spirit is ready, declare it. I am prepared. I am prepared. I am chosen. I am stepping into my destiny. Your shift is coming. And the world is waiting for what only you can bring.